There is a Chinese fairy tale. 2,000 years ago, a young man fell in love with the emperor's daughter, and she fell in love with him. But the young man was of low station. He was forbidden by the emperor on pain of death ever to look upon the princess again. When the princess heard that she could no longer see the young man she loved, she caused her serving lady to prepare for her a bitter tea. This she drank and ended her life. Shortly, news of the princess's death came to the young man. Crying even as he went through the streets, the young man ran to the palace and threw himself down before the emperor. "Kill me too," the young man pleaded. "I have no further love for this life." But the emperor said, "I will not have you killed. I will not allow you to die. I will not allow you to join her." Wherever the young man went, the emperor sent soldiers to prevent him from doing harm to himself, so that he might be forced to live to a very old age. But the young man's need for the princess was very great. One day, just after the sun had risen, the young man went to the highest peak in the province. He climbed and climbed to the very top, leaving the emperor's soldiers far behind him. Sitting atop this great peak, the young man wrote 3 letters. The first he threw to the north wind, the second to the east wind, and the third to the wind of the west. Then he prayed to the south wind to speak to the others on his behalf, that they might take his letters and deliver them to the princess in the land of the dead. "Tell them," the young man said to the south wind, "that I ask only her permission to join her."
Okay, true he don't. The man says true he don't. Anybody else over here? Who's for him and who's against him? Who wants a piece of the action? Anyone else around here? Hey, come on. Who wants a piece of the action? 2 to 1, he's up there 5 minutes. 6 to 5, he's down in a half an hour. Hey, what's with you?
It's not a horse up there. It's a human being.
Hey, now look.
There's the law against betting.
I want him brought in and booked.
Yes, sir. Come on.
Jumpers. Why do they pick the rush hour just when people are trying to get to work?
They like crowds.
Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing. Okay. Now look. Just keep talking. Don't try to get a toe hold. I don't want to lose you because of a nut. Now just keep talking until they get a net under them. Don't reach out for them. All of these guys like to take a cop with them. You got that?
Got it. Cigarettes? No. Here. Lighter.
Don't be an acrobat.
Good job, buddy. big down there. Easy to get lost.
I didn't mean to get anybody else involved in this whole thing. You and the crowd down there. The height frightened me. I lost my nerve.
Want to come down now?
Please go back down. I don't want to involve you.
Why don't you come back down with me?
I'm going home. One who lives as a passing stranger. Dead, he is safely home.
Is that Chinese?
Chinese poem, yes.
How about a cigarette?
You get your friends down there to go away and leave me alone? Isn't a man entitled to a little dignity?
You picked the time and the place. You were the one that decided if there's dignity or not. My name is Alan Flint. I live at 642 King Street. I went to school right up there in the Bronx. I have a girl.
Not interested.
You know, I take home about $128 a week. And most of the time, that's not enough.
I'm not interested.
In the morning, I pick up the newspapers, and I don't like the headlines either.
Will you leave me alone?
I get frightened at night.
Please, will you leave me alone? I want you to leave me alone.
Then I have fights with my girl, and I don't know how to make up with her. Is this a kind of a joke? Why don't you let me in on the joke?
You have a girl, mister? I had a girl. I killed her this morning. Okay? Okay, mister?
Okay, so what? I've seen murderers before. What do you expect me to do? Want me to stare at you as if you were a leper? Want to stand back horrified?
Let me go! Let me go!
All right. It's all right. Out. Leave. All right. Out. All right. Hold on. Come on. Let's go down. Attaboy. Let's go down.
All right. Break it up. There's nothing more to see. Let's go. Come on, let's go. Let him go. It's a good thing for you things turned out as they did, or I'd put you in a cell and I'd throw the key in that river there.
Maybe you like people looking over your shoulder, Lieutenant. Makes me nervous.
You ought to furnish a map with a place like this. I counted 63 rooms coming up here. Well, 8.
Check up on the kid? Make sure he's got nothing with him to hurt himself with?
Yeah, I have him in just shirt and pants. I took away his shoelaces and his belt.
Well?
Well, probably. The stab wound was between the second and third ribs next to the sternum. Probably next to the pulmonary artery and next to the aorta.
How long ago?
Oh, she's been dead about 8, 10 hours, roughly.
Doc, can I see the knife?
Oh, I turned it over to the lab fella. It was about so long, carved ivory, ornate handle. Looked like a museum piece. I'm guessing it was a couple of 100 years old anyway. Now, there are probably no fingerprints on it. The surface was too rough.
Anything else?
No.
How'd she get in that position with her head on the pillow?
There are a couple of bloodstains over there. I'd say that the stabbing took place over there, and she was moved to this position subsequently.
Looks like she was arranged.
She was either arranged in this position or she composed herself.
Hey, wait a minute, Monsieur. Oh, I'd give him a couple of seconds, Lieutenant. I just gave him a pretty strong dose of stimulant.
I see you are police. How did you come to be here?
Because the girl was killed.
Lotus C.
I didn't know her name.
How did you know she was dead?
We were told.
By a young man.
Hey, wait a minute, Miss. You're not as strong as you think.
Is she not very beautiful? I killed her, you know.
I'm not trying to tell you what to do about a personal matter, sir. What about the bank? What happens there? You just can't turn your back on the bank.
The nature of the circumstances is very personal. I do not wish to discuss it.
Why don't you let us get a habeas corpus, sir? Then get yourself a good night's sleep.
Young man, do I employ you or do you employ me?
Stay with him. I want to see if I can find someone to move him.
Maybe it needs a little sugar.
Is that gonna cool it off?
Of course, the interesting thing about a dual confession is that each confession cancels the other one out. Unless, of course, there's collusion.
You think this is collusion? Did you ever see two guys hate each other's guts like these two do?
Well, if they killed each other, you'd have a good, clean case. Good, clean motivations.
Maybe they are.
Maybe they are what?
Trying to kill each other.
Each of them trying to take the rap for the crime? Each of them trying to take each other off the hook? Somebody's gonna kill me. I hope they're that kind of me.
Mike, they have some reason for doing what they're doing.
Oh, yeah, they got a reason. It's like when a man sneezes, it's maybe because he's got a tickle in his nose. But you can't see the tickle in somebody else's nose, and you can't see their reasons either.
Well, they hate each other, Frank. We can see that.
Yeah.
So the mouse ran around with his tail in his teeth, making a perfect circle.
Mike, did we get a lab report yet on the fingerprints on the death weapon?
As predicted, no fingerprints at all. Why?
I was noticing here in Com's report where he says it's his knife.
Well, we can check that out easy enough.
Well, what does the district attorney wishes to do now?
Well, it seems to me that I'm in here a bit prematurely, that's all. So far as I can see up to this point, I can't see any matter that I can bring before the grand jury for indictment. But I do think you men should keep up your investigation. Maybe build us up a case.
Against either Com or Twan, huh?
Or some third person, or persons unknown. Because one thing occurs to me. When two fellas hate each other and make a confession, each absolving the other, then maybe they're both protecting some third person, still unknown.
Okay. Check the knife out.
Yes, sir.
Well, Mr. Twong, I'm ready to take your statement.
Lieutenant, this man doesn't have to answer any questions, and we're advising him not to.
You've dealt with me before, Counselor. When did I ever ride over anybody's rights?
I'm not trying to malign you, Lieutenant. I'm trying to make a statement of fact for the protection of my client.
Mr. Twong, your attorney is absolutely right. I do not have the power to compel you to talk. Whatever you say may put you in jeopardy. We have to consider that.
I would like to talk to you.
This is Lieutenant Parker. I want a steno sent to room 3. I want to have an official transcript taken now.
I'm putting you on notice, Lieutenant. This man has just suffered severe shock. He is sick. He is not in a proper condition, physically or mentally,
You're
to
on
give you
record.
any kind of a statement at this time.
About 14 years ago, I went to the dock to pick up this child, Lotus C. She was then 6 years and some months. She had just completed an extraordinary journey, coming from Hong Kong by boat and traveling all by herself. My wife, unfortunately, was extremely ill that morning, as she had been for a long time. We recognized that she was close to death. But we took some comfort in the fact that she might see the child before she died. We had no children of our own.
How do you do? I am your guardian, Mr. Twong.
How do you do? I am Lotus T. I speak English, French, and Cantonese dialects.
Ah, I was told that little girls like to play with dogs.
Oh, they do.
Oh,
It was only a plaything, and I could always buy her another. But it startled me. Even as I soothed the child, I felt a great uneasiness. I am a superstitious man. It seemed to me a bad omen. When I brought the child to the house that morning, I found that my wife was dead. I am not sure what bearing this recollection has on the present moment, but it sticks in my mind.
Mr. Twong, I want you to tell your story in your own words, but I wish you'd try and be more direct.
Would it be helpful if I told you her relationship with the young man?
Good night.
I am not sure how they met. I gave the girl the freedom of an American young woman. She may have met the man at school, at a party, or in the street. Young men and young women meet in the most haphazard way in this country. They met, and from their point of view, they were in love. I forbade the young man to come to the house. They met at the park. They met in many places. I employed private detectives.
I asked you not to see her. That's our business.
Please go to the car, child.
I'm gonna marry her.
Please, go to the car. This conversation is between us. Now, I think we have to behave like two rational human beings. Please sit down. And what are you? I am gracious and successful. Not as impetuous as a young man and much wiser. Now what can you offer Lotus C that is worth half that, huh?
I love her.
In the name of love, all crimes are committed. Now let me make you a proposition that even a young man may understand. Sit down. My legal rights in this matter are bound by contract. In order to obtain the child from China, I was forced to spend a large sum of money, including a substantial payment to her parents. In exchange for this, and for the promise of a good home and a good upbringing, they signed an agreement.
What court that you know of would recognize an agreement like that in this country?
I am not suggesting an American court. I am suggesting that like two grown-up people, we arbitrate this matter. I am suggesting that we take this matter to the association and put it into their hands.
And do you think they would uphold your contract?
I think so.
You really think so?
I'd stake my life on it. I am perfectly willing to abide by the decision of the association. If they go against me, I am willing to let the girl go out of the house free, with a large sum of money and other worldly goods. Now, do you agree to abide by the rules of the association?
That ends it?
That ends it.
All right.
Good. Even in retrospect, it is hard sometimes to determine if you have made the right decision at a particular moment. I imagine that conversation was the seed of the girl's death.
I believe you sold this dagger to a man named James Combe. Is that correct?
Daddy?
This is the dagger you sold to James Combe, isn't it?
可是我们不知道王先生愿意不愿意见他们呀。
如果不把他们问。
哎呀，那我们怎么办？怎么样好呀？Excuse me, my daughter made a suggestion which may be useful. May I make a telephone call?
Be our guest?
Go right ahead.
喂，我是李，我想同王先生讲两句话，方便吗？那可成个问题了，他什么时候回来呀？不行，我不能等那么久。您是哪一位啊？哦，是的，是的。那么大家谈话里讲到过没有帮一帮这地方的警察局呢？好，多谢，多谢。Sometimes there are problems which are interesting mainly to the Chinese community. We have an association which can deal with problems like that and make decisions. It has no special name, just the association. I think we can save you a lot of energy by sending you directly over there. Ask for Mr. Wang.
Mr. Wang.
我也把地址给他们写下来。 My daughter is writing the address for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Even at the time, I had the feeling it was going to end in violence. It was a difficult problem. Interesting, but very difficult. The young man was sitting where you are now. Mr. Twang, roughly over there. I was here with two associates, there and there. We listened to the case of each man. I take it you understand, we're not a court of law. This is a kind of informal court. It's a matter of custom, not actually legal, but it does have a great force in the Chinese community, because the members of the community, for the most part, have voluntarily given this court great power. What it boiled down to was that the young man Calm put forth as his stake in the matter the fact that he and the girl had a great love for each other. Twang, on the other hand, had undertaken a contract to raise and care for the girl, in fulfillment of which he had spent certain sums of money. Also, he put forth as a part of his stake in the matter that he had a great love for the girl, too.
You didn't hear from the girl, though.
We assumed that the girl would abide by our decision. We studied the matter and came to the conclusion that, in essence, Calm's love for the girl was that of a young man. Twang's love for the girl was that of a parent and father. We felt that customarily young people leave their parents to make a life of their own, and that this natural custom of human beings could not be denied. On the other hand, there was the matter of the money spent. We decided that the specific sum of money involved, the principal and interest, laid out by Twang, came to $10,000. We told Calm that if he would reimburse that $10,000 to Twang, that we would regard Twang's contract as null and void, and that Twang would then be enjoined from interfering in any way in the marriage between Lotus Zi and Calm. Now, Calm offered to pay off the $10,000 over a period of time. There was a further difficulty. Twang interposed that he was an old man, and that he could not wait any lengthy period of time. We had to recognize the validity of the argument. We thought that perhaps a fair amount of time would be a year, but at this point, Twang became very angry, and he said that he would not abide by our decision unless Calm paid him the money within 3 days, or else he would regard the whole proceeding as null and void. That's the best of my recollection.
Then you let it go at that?
That's the way we left it. Calm said that he would raise the money somehow.
Do you know if he did get the money?
No.
Well, do you have any idea where he could raise that kind of money in 3 days?
We have to assume a man has friends.
Isn't it funny, when you ask for money, all you get is sympathy. There was a tailor on our block when I was a kid. He used to sit in the window and sew and sing that song all day.
When you ask for money, all you get is sympathy.
That's the way it goes.
Mr. Wong, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yes, sir, thank you.
This is your transcript, Mr. Kahn. You read it, you signed it, you said that's it exactly. Take a good look at it. I don't find any mention of an ex officio trial with you, Mr. Wang, and Mr. Twang. What did you do, Mr. Kahn? Did you forget it? Did it slip your mind?
I'm sorry, I didn't think it was important. Did you raise the $10,000?
went to the bank and took out my life savings. Came to a little over $500. Made a list of the people I thought I could count on to help me. They're poorer than I thought. Some offered to lend me $20. Others $10. I had 3 days to get $10,000. At the end of the first day, I had $564.10.
1, 2, 3, 4. Say. Fighty. 4. 4. Number 3 the winner. 3 to 1 on the 3. 2 and 3 even money on the line. 3 and 4 on the line. Say. Winner number 3. 2 and 3 on the line, even money. 3 and 4 on the line, even money.
Watch and learn. A bet on the corner 3 to 1, but you have 3 ways to lose. A bet on the line between 2 numbers, you have only 2 ways to lose and 2 ways to win even money. This is no longer a speculation, it is an investment, especially with my advice.
How much can you bet?
Any amount, my dear young man, any amount. Number 3 has just won the stars advice on numbers 1 and 2. Clear the line.
Fighty, hurry.
$100 on the 1.
Much too risky. Play on the line, 2 numbers.
Lấy siêu. Sama. Yat. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Say. 4. Yaran. Winner number 1. 3 to 1, number 1. Ready? Myla, hurry, get your bets down.
$400 on the 4.
No. Do not bet at all. Bet on the line, 2 numbers. It's safe, I told you so.
No more bets. Lấy siêu. Yat. 2, 3, say. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sama.
It's like any other form of gambling. You win and you lose and you win. I stood there at that table. 24 hours went by. Another 6, 8, 10 hours went by after that. They brought me food. I was drinking. They caught the gambling fever.
4,520. You are winning $4,000. Wrong number.
You accept the bet? What's the matter, Yankee? That's how you make your money, isn't it?
$4,000 on number 3. No more bets?
Dig deep.
The player has the option. You may include this bean with the others, or not, as you please.
What shall it be, Uncle?
Well, in certain cases where there was some doubt as to the honesty of the house, an accidental change in the account was always considered to be an advantage to the player. Of course, there is no doubt here. Mr. Yankee's honesty is proverbial. Still, what have we to lose? Give me the bean and let me put it into my pocket for luck.
No more bets. Les you. Ya, ye, som, say. 1, 2, 3, 4. Say. 2. Ye on. Number 3 loses.
How much now? Some men gamble for 2 days and nights. Have nothing to show for it. How'd you like to see a $12,000 bean?
Mike, we're ready.
Gentlemen, for reasons of your own, you both claim to be murderers. I have here transcript copies of statements that you have made to us. Now, if you will look on the cover sheet of each copy, you will find that I have given his statement to you and your statement to him. These statements contradict each other. Unfortunately, I have no way of knowing which one of you is lying. I expect you gentlemen have the answer to that. Now, after you have read each other's confessions, if you have anything to say, that's what I want to hear. After you found that you couldn't win at Fantan, what did you do then?
That's when I bought the knife.
You mean you were already sure of what you intended to do at that time?
After I came out of the Fantan parlor, I gradually worked my plan out in my mind.
What made you feel this way?
I don't know why it seems so strange that an older man should be in love. I recognize the limitations in a marriage between an older man and a young girl. Thought there were many things I could offer. Wisdom, comfort, education. The irony is, out of my age, I had come to understand and feel compassion for the violence of young people. But they seemed to have no sense that I could feel too.
Then you bought the knife. What did you do then? Tell us step by step.
I went to his house and she wouldn't let me in. I made her come out of the house and talk to me. I was very violent. I threatened her. I told her if she didn't speak with me, I'd kill myself.
Is this public enough for you not to create a scandal?
Don't attack me for my background.
made of stone.
I don't wear my feelings on my sleeve.
Look, I need you.
Will you stop and listen to something? Will you understand that in a very different way I love him very much? And will you understand that I don't want to hurt him? And I'm not going to.
I'm gonna kill him. I'm going to kill him. I'm going to come to the house tonight. Better leave the door open. If it's not open, I'll kill myself right on your doorstep. I did not know this. I did not know you were this desperate. I did not know you had proposed murder.
I wanted her that much.
I see. I did not know she had seen the young man and what he had proposed. I only knew that within her, violent storms were raging. To spare my feelings, she concealed her own emotions. But I had raised her since she was 6 years old. I sensed her anguish in the evening. I asked her to put on a Chinese costume that I had had made for her. I felt that this might bring her closer to me.
You're breaking me in half, please! let me marry him?
No.
Will you release me?
I need you.
Prayed that one of you would have some mercy.
And afterwards, I composed her body so that it was as if she was sleeping. And after that, my weakness came over me, and I slipped into darkness myself. Did you have to tell them? When I first saw you come into the room with your dagger raised to strike it into me, I did not know that she had opened the door for you. I killed her. She killed herself. I may say it because I am now free of guilt. From the moment she opened the door for you, she was your accomplice in my murder.
Then let me be guilty. I moved her to the act. Let me bear the guilt. Let me take the punishment.
No. So long as I live, I will not let you die. So long as I live, I will not let you join her.
There are 8 million stories in the naked city. This has been one of them.
This has been a Screen Gems film presentation from Columbia Pictures. Herbert B. Leonard, executive producer.